What's up, guys and girls? On today's video, I'm going to show you how to research and filter through stocks on Interactive Brokers and Trader Workstation. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to have to get access to Client Portal or Trader Workstation, and you're going to need an account to do that. To open an account with Interactive Brokers, click on the video description. There's a link, an affiliate link there that will send you to this page. It is here where you can open an account. After you have an account set up, you can then log into Client Portal just by going through interactivebrokers.com. If you want to download Trader Workstation, click on that product, scroll all the way down on this page, and then you can download Trader Workstation. Once you have your account set up, you can use either one of those two. What we're going to start off with is Client Portal, and this is your home screen. Now, if you click on the Research tab, you're going to see that there's a Discover page. Here is where we can go through a couple things that I think are quite nice. In technical ideas, you have Forex, you have crypto, you have stocks, you have indices, and you have commodities. We're going to focus on stocks. Now, you can filter through stocks based on country, sector, time frame, and trend. There are a ton of sectors. We're going to keep that at all. The time frame is important because if you're day trading, you're going to look for the intraday. And if you're swing trading, you're going to look at the daily or weekly. We're going to look at the daily right now, and then we'll show you what the intraday looks like. And then the sentiment or trend is bearish or bullish, depending on what type of trade you want to get into. And here's a couple examples of a daily bullish US listed stock technical view. And you can also search for stocks. If you were to type in a ticker like CrowdStrike, you can see that there was a technical view posted on that stock. Now, if you click on Apple, this is the information that you're going to get. It is based off of the daily chart, and all of these stocks are based off of the daily chart. And then they're going to give you the preference. They'll give you an alternate scenario. They'll give you a comment. They're going to show you support and resistance lines. And basically, you're going to understand, or you're going to see the reasoning behind the technical view provided on this page. A lot of it's going to have to do with the RSI being overbought or oversold. They're going to look at the MACD. They're going to look at major moving averages, and they're going to look at support and resistance levels. And based on all of that combined, they'll give you a technical view. You can filter through this, you can read these, and maybe you can add some of these stocks to your watch list and get into some trades if you like the setup. Now, if you switch the time frame to intraday, here are some day trading opportunities, and they're going to let you know whether it's long or short, depending if you are bullish or bearish. And all of these charts are based off of the 30-minute chart, or I should say 30-minute candles. Now, features ideas are going to give you 10 stocks that are bullish and bearish, and they have a target associated with them. And they're going to give you some reasons on why they think that target is realistic to the bullish or bear side. And they're going to show you that on the what was found section of the featured ideas. Now, if you like an idea, you can click on the watch, and it's going to put it in a separate category for you so you can quickly refer back to it in the future. And you can also customize your setup to try to find stocks that fit your filters and your criteria. For instance, you can select your exchange. If you're looking for stocks that are only listed on the NASDAQ, you can select NASDAQ. If you're looking for some European stocks, you can pick the London Stock Exchange, for example. Then you can look for stocks and stocks that have options. You can look for opportunities that are bearish or bullish or both. You can holding time frame of 2 to 6 weeks, up to 9 months, or up to 2 years. Then you can look at some other stuff, some fundamentals, some things on the charts. You can filter out certain sectors, and you can basically create your filters to suit your needs or what you like to trade. The next thing we're going to go over is how to scan through stocks on Interactive Brokers Client Portal. You're going to click on Research, then you're going to go to Market Scanner. And here I'm going to show you how to scan through stocks. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to select which stocks or what you're looking to scan through. For us, it's going to be US stocks, but as you can see, there are a lot of different things here. We're going to keep it basic and just focus on US stocks. Then we'll keep it at all, or you can do listed NASDAQ. We'll actually change this to listed/NASDAQ. Now, what you're going to be doing here on Client Portal is you're going to be running through preset scanners. And we're going to go over the ones that I like personally the most. So I like top percent gainers, top percent losers. Sometimes I'll look at most active. I also like looking at 52-week high and 52-week low. And I also like looking at price versus EMA 200% change high to low and low to high. And we'll go over all of these and what they do and why I like them. So to start off small, start off basic, we'll just go to top percent gainers. Now you can filter by price range. If you want to weed out some of the lower price stocks, some of the penny stocks, if you will, you can change this. I like looking at stocks that are at least $25 a share, sometimes a little bit lower, but I don't like trading penny stocks. So at a minimum, I'm going to keep this at $5 a share. I also want stocks that have decent volume. I'm not looking for low float stocks. So my volume right now is set at 500,000 shares. You can adjust this based on your preference. When you're all set and ready to go, you're just going to click refresh results or run scanner. And here it's going to give you some of the instruments, the tickers, the change, the last, the bid, and the ask. We can sort through or filter through percent change. And here are the biggest winners for the day. We have Nordstrom and AI. If you click on the stock, now, if you look at the stock, even though the stock is up 23.18% on the day, which is a lot, and as you can see by the daily RSI at 88, it's extremely overbought, it is still not above its 52-week high at $29.08 a share. So you get some added information when you actually take a look at the charts. Now, another scanner, very similar, top percent losers. You're just going to change it. We'll keep all of the filters the same, and we will refresh results. Again, sort through percent change, and you can see the biggest loser on the day is BILL at 26.7% drop on the day. Another screener that I like to look at is the 52-week high and 52-week low. We refresh results. We can also sort through percent change. And let's pick another stock. Let's go down here and look at IBKR, which is quite ironic because this is the stock for the brokerage that I'm using in today's video. Now here you can see that the stock is trading at $83.74, but the 52-week high is $85.41. Why is this stock showing up in our scanner? Well, that's because on the day, it broke or set the 52-week high, which doesn't really show up too well on this chart because the daily candle, it did pull back a little bit. But if you take a look at the open, the stock opened up at $80.90. It had a high of $85.41 on the day, and it closed at $84.18. If we were to change the daily candle to a 5-minute candle, here you can see that around noon on February 3rd is when it set that 52-week high, which was the last trading day. I like looking at 52-week highs and 52-week lows because these are stocks that have somewhat relative strength compared to the overall market. They are making new highs or new lows, and that can help you try to get into trades based on momentum. If a stock continues to make new highs, it's at a 52-week high, then maybe in the short term, that momentum can continue and you can ride the winner. Or you can take a look at it and think inverse of that and think that momentum's starting to fade and put it to your watch list and wait for a potential pullback and play that pullback. You can do the vice versa on the 52-week low stocks as well. I like looking at it because it shows you some of the strongest winners and some of the strongest losers in the stock market. So if you want to take a look at 52-week low stocks, it's the same thing, but you're just going to go from 52-week high to 52-week low. The next scanner that I'm going to go over is that 200-day EMA one. So we scroll down to price versus EMA 200, change percent high to low, and we refresh results. Now, if I was to pick a stock on this list, maybe we'll do e.l.f. Beauty. Here, what this stock is showing me is that with it currently trading at $70 and the 200-day EMA is at $43, there's a large gap here. So this stock is well above its 200-day moving average. It's overbought on the RSI, and this stock could potentially rebound to retest or get closer to this 200-day EMA, or in the short term, it has a lot of upside momentum. Maybe it continues up for a little bit longer and we wait for a potential pullback, or we play that move to the upside, depending on what kind of trader you are. What this filter shows me though are stocks that are above their 200-day EMA by a pretty good percentage, and the other scanner is going to show me stocks that are below their 200-day EMA by a pretty good percent. Now, if you don't have the 200-day EMA or the RSI, no worries. just go to indicators, type in exponential moving average. And now it's going to pop up down here. Right now you can see I have an EMA of 9. I'm going to delete that because I already have the EMA 200. But to get to 200, you're going to click on the settings and you're going to change your length to 200. To get the RSI, go to indicators, type in relative strength index, and it'll pop up down below here as well. So if we look at price versus 200-day EMA change, low to high, and let's say we were to look at, I don't know, Twilio. Here you can see that the stock is below its 200-day EMA. The 200-day EMA is at 90, and this is at $62.50. So those are essentially the scanners that I think are helpful. A lot of these are helpful, but I don't use them on a daily basis. Take some time, filter through them, use them, see which ones work for you. Everybody's different. Everyone has a different trading strategy. But nevertheless, this is the setup of scanners, market scanner, and interactive brokers, where you can find this is under the research tab. Now to scan through stocks in interactive brokers trader workstation, you're going to have to open up TWS, and then you're basically going to have to create a layout, or you can go to the layout library and use the preset stock scanner layout to scan through stocks. If you click on that layout, this is what's going to pop up on your screen. You're going to have an advanced scanner. You're going to have some charts. You're going to have order entry, and you'll be able to use this to scan through stocks. But we're going to create our own personal layout. So go to create a new layout, name it as you will. We'll just name ours scanner. And now we are going to create this. We are going to add a new window. Now in new windows, you under the scanners tab, you have a couple options, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a chart, and we'll bring this chart all the way over to the right. We're going to resize it. I'm going to remove volatility, and I'm also going to add some stuff in here. So we're going to go to studies. I'm going to go to momentum study, and I'm going to add the relative strength index. We're going to click on that. We'll click on add, and we'll keep that setting the same. What we're also going to do is we're going to add the exponential moving average, the 200-day EMA. So what we're going to do is going to click on exponential moving average. We're going to change the period from 9 to 200. Now notice how the RSI is quite large. To change that, click on your applied study and revise your indicator plot height. We'll change that to small. Now we're going to regroup this. We're going to take this and put it under group 7. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a watch list. And we're going to resize this as well. Now I'm going to add one of my predefined watch lists on here. I'm going to go to browse list. I'm going to click on my list. And I'm going to add the one that I use. And then I'm going to remove that blank watch list 10 from here as well. Now I'm going to set this to group 7 as well to link it with my chart on the right. Now I'm going to go under new windows. I'm going to go to Mosaic Market Scanner. And here is where you can look at scanners. Now the default scanners are very similar to what you see on Client Portal. A lot of them are identical. But unlike Client Portal, where you have percent gainers and percent losers, Trader Workstation will show both of them in one scanner under US movers. Where on the left, you're going to have percent losers, and on the right, you're going to have percent gainers. And you're going to see that by change. Now we're also going to link this to group 7. So if I was to click on a stock, it would show up on the right as well. Now, if you want to add another scanner, what you're going to do is you're going to click on that plus icon. You're going to go to Mosaic Market Scanner, and here you're going to have your scanner library. Pick a predefined scan. For instance, if we pick 52-week high IV rank, this will then show us what this scanner does, and it's going to give you some information on it. You're going to click done, and then your scanner is going to pop up. And notice how the columns change. They change based on your predefined scanner. Now, if you click on edit scanner, you can modify it by clicking on customize. Now, there are two things here. You have your universe and you have your fields and filter. If you click on your universe, here's where you're basically going to tell interactive brokers what kind of stocks you're looking for. If you're looking for a stock, an ETF, what your region is, and which exchange are they traded on. You can have all of the exchanges, or for instance, we're just looking at the New York Stock Exchange and the Amex. Then you can minimize that screen and you can update your fields and filter. Here you can add a filter, and you can add a filter based on price, based on many different things here. For instance, if we wanted to modify stocks that we're looking at that have a price of at least $25 a share, we would hit last, we would hit filter, and then we would go from $25 to the max. And this is going to show us stocks that are trading with a last price of $25 or greater. We can add another field and we can add market cap. For instance, if we wanted to trade stocks or only look at stocks that were worth X amount in value, say $1 billion in market cap or more, they've got to get rid of some of those smaller cap stocks, we can do that as well by adjusting our filter from 1 billion or higher in market cap. Now let's create another scanner from scratch. So we're going to click on plus, we're going to go to Mosaic Market Scanner, and now we are going to use our predefined and we're going to use US active. We're going to click done. And now we are going to modify this by hitting edit scanner. We're going to customize it. What we're going to do is we're going to add some fields and modify this scanner. I'm going to show you some other features that TWS has to offer. One filter we can add is dividend yield. Say you want stocks to have a dividend. So we're going to go dividend yield, and then we're going to filter through. And let's say we want stocks to have at least 1% dividend yield. Then we can hit done. And now notice this time it actually did add a column where you can see the dividend yield. It doesn't always add a column, but sometimes it does. Another thing we can do is we can modify the last price to be at least $5 a share. We can filter for the market cap to be at least $1 billion or 1,000 million. And we can filter through the percent change to be at least 2.5% positive on the day. And here are stocks that meet all of that criteria. We can go to our edit scanner and we can add another field as well. We can click on technical indicators and then we can do that 200 EMA crossover. Now notice how my scanner is not showing any results. It is too tight in its criteria right now. So what we can do is we can modify some of our filters to broaden our search to hopefully get some stocks that pop up. So instead of looking for a market cap of 1 billion, we can look at a market cap of 500 million instead, or $500 million. And now we got some stocks that popped up on our list. We got 4 in total. Another thing we can do is we can change the percent change from 0 to whatever. So these are stocks that only really had a positive day, but didn't have to have a great day. Now, another way to filter through stocks, if you click on new window and advanced market scanner, this is the screen that's going to pop up. Now, this is very similar to what we just saw, but our parameters are a little bit more extensive. So you're going to use your instrument. You're going to pick your location. You are also then going to add your filters on the third column, and your parameter is going to be on the very right. So for instance, we're looking at top percent gainers with a price that is greater than $5. Here are our filters, very similar to what I showed you before. And we can do percent change that's greater than 2.5%. And we can do volume that's greater than 500,000 shares. You can add that filter. And then top percent gainers. And then when you're ready to filter through these stocks and run your scanner, you're going to click on search up on the top. And then you're going to get your chart with all of your information here. And that's basically how you run scanners in TWS. It's very similar to in Client Portal, a little bit more extensive, a little bit more information you can add. You can do it through the Mosaic scanner or the advanced scanner as well. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. If you are going to join Interactive Brokers, do not forget about that affiliate link in the video description. You can open an account with them. They have a ton of different accounts. They offer accounts in many different countries. You don't have to be in the United States to open an account with Interactive Brokers. So definitely check them out if you can. Also consider hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel for more investing and financial content. I thank you so much for your time. This is We Are Investing, and I'm out. See ya.